as you pick yourself apart. It's never
Everybody has their passports.
You don't know who you are, and you don't know where to start as you close your tired eyes. It feels so impossible, illogical.
We're about to influence the world, baby!
We can turn this round with this new love we found. Before you start to run, you better believe it.
In my day job, I'm an immigration lawyer, and it's commonly said in immigration circles that borders are accidents of history. And as a San Diegan, growing up in an upper middle class, mostly white neighborhood, and going to Tijuana for many years, the difference between where the border is in my part of the world and that part of the world really strikes me.
I just want to inspire people to live a life of service to others rather than making choices for yourself and doing whatever you need to do to get ahead or stay afloat at all. But I just want to inspire other people to get inspired. Yeah. Do something for others.
When we a toy, they don't have anything. They don't have clothes.
They have nothing to believe in.
They have nothing to believe in. So
no one believes in them. It's all about surviving. It's never about amounting to something. It's about surviving.
I think
so
we all
having
relate.
someone to believe in you gives them that hope that they can do something so much more.
Yeah, it's definitely something we all can relate with, weirdly, in our own way.
And just learning about a refugee camp in particular kind of really hit home for me. I have an adopted sister, she's from China.
Really?
She's super cute, 4'9" girl. She's now 23, which is crazy to me. She's still very young in my eyes, but she was adopted in China, brought over to the US, actually orphaned. She was my uncle and aunt's child, and then we took her in after that. Kind of thinking everything that she's been through, and the way that she just views life is just incredibly different from me, who clearly has not had any of those experiences. The things that she values is so just fundamental, just having parents and a place to live. Being able to go to school is just transformational for her. So just so many things that we take for granted, and still the most special moment in her life is when she was brought over here.
Oh, really?
And being American, just having someone that maybe they don't look like her, maybe we share very little in common besides the fact that we're family is just amazing. And the fact that one person really can change someone's life forever is really special. So
about maybe the fact that everything that I have is founded on the backs of other people's sweat and tears and hard work. Suddenly the tables turned and I became an LGBTQ refugee from my home country, and I had nothing. And I realized that need truly is universal, but so is compassion. And so many people reached out and helped me. And if I could do that for other people, I'll be there anytime you call.
I was born and raised in Syria, and then 1 year before the war, I moved to the U.S. And so while I was here, things progressed in Syria, and the war was getting worse and worse. So hearing about, there were so many situations happening, kids drowning in the ocean, in the Mediterranean Sea, while they were trying to run away from Syria. And there's so much that I held in that I was been really trying to get into refugee camps anywhere, just because it's just being a refugee is very intense.
Passing through, I couldn't really do much, and I saw houses flooded in water, and still those kids were playing ball outside like nothing was wrong, and they were just living their life, and that's why I have such a heart.
I was one of those kids.
Yeah, and I have such a heart to see that, and it just struck me with this sense of empathy, and I'm happy to be on this trip so that I can actually do something about it this time around, where I can go and I can give those kids more hope, or just give them a fun time, hang out with them, make them feel like special for that moment, where I'm just sharing my energy with them, trying to spark them up, make them feel better. I love kids, I love playing with kids and making them laugh, and I can't wait to do this.
You're seen. You are this little human, and I think the best thing about bringing
knowledge to them and books and the internet and computers is that now you have the potential to do anything you want. The inspiration for Influence the World came from a trip that I took a couple years ago with one of my very good friends, Kevin. We went to Vietnam for 7 days and went to a different orphanage every day, and just really being able to connect with these kids that don't have anything and were just so inspired to, have a couple supplies dropped off, just be able to sit down with them and take some photos and see their eyes light up really just meant so much to me. After that trip, I just kind of knew that my calling was to do this with my life. What's so amazing and inspirational about the group that we took down to Tijuana is everybody has such an eclectic background. We have such a diverse group of people going with us, and everybody's intent was purely just to go down there with love and hope, and it was really powerful.
Influence the world! So thank you all for being here. So this is our first Influence the World trip. And how this came about is there was a news piece on 60 Minutes. Leslie Stahl, the legendary journalist from 60 Minutes, talked to and met with the people that we're going to be meeting with tomorrow and went on both sides of the border and really focused on the environmental issues. The charity that we have partnered with for Influence the World is called Wild Coast, and it's a fantastic group that's highlighted in this article, so I thought we should watch it. It's about 12 minutes. There's a lot of finger pointing that goes on between the US and Mexico, and it's a multi-billion-dollar problem. The environmental waste, the sewage, the degradation of the environment, the marine life, all of that is wrapped up in a multi-billion-dollar, multi-generational issue. I thought it was important for our team to review the piece in order to understand the environmental issues that are going on, which directly impact the families and the young people that we were going to help the next day. Wild Coast has been really generous with their time. They've prepared an agenda for tomorrow, which I'll forward to everyone. And we'll be meeting with the mayors, and they're gonna, and basically what I asked them to do, and with Faye and with Ann from Wild Coast, is basically like, we want to be educated about what are you seeing, what are you hearing, what do Mayor Gloria just met with Vice President Harris and with Homeland Secretary Mayorkas and Interior Secretary Haaland on these issues, just in the last few weeks. So what's the latest, and what can we highlight, what can we bring attention to with our influencer community? 10:30 or so, we're gonna get, piling back in our vans with Faye and with Yehuda, who we haven't met yet, but she's one of the Wild Coast people. And we're gonna go to Los Laureles Canyon School. I'm gonna send you the Google Maps pin. You can see exactly where it is. It's just a stone's throw from the border. We're gonna meet with their director and their teachers and the children, and we're gonna, we're gonna deliver what we brought. We're gonna see the park that they built. So even though this is a neighborhood of very poor people, they're very proud of their park. And so basically the abuelas who are in charge of everything are the guardianas del parque. I know I butchered that Spanish pronunciation.
How do you say it properly?
How do you say that for real?
Guardianas del parque, like the guardians of the park.
What Faye said to me in her beautiful accent is, they need everything. You'll hear, she'll say that tomorrow, I'm sure. They need everything. Think of a thing that you can get, they don't have it.
So here are the shirts that we will be wearing tomorrow, everybody.
Yeah, so exciting.
Wild Coast was founded 20 years ago by a great man called Serge Dedina, who is now also the mayor of the city of Imperial Beach, one of the two cities that border the US and Mexico. One of his chief communications people is Faye Crevichet, an amazing lady. She's a US and Mexican citizen, and she's on both sides of the border working on the environmental issues. She was our guide, our spiritual leader, and sort of our abuela.
Again, what I said, private sector, philanthropic, citizens and the governments of both countries to fix this problem, to come up with solutions and ways to make a difference. There's a human element as well, and you may have seen a little bit, but the fact is there's a crisis on the border, a humanitarian crisis, with some of the refugees from Haiti, Cuba, Venezuela, Central America, Mexico, you name it, they're there, and they're living in these canyons. So the drama is real, right? So anyway, I'm going to end this here because Wild Coast does this kind of work all over Mexico and California, whether it's working on sea turtle nesting beaches in Oaxaca. We work with indigenous communities who literally, they plow their fields with oxen, right? But they've stopped killing turtles to protect them, but to also here. What we've realized in this pandemic, and I think you guys have gotten this, there's nothing more important than helping each other. There's nothing more important than connecting with each other. There's nothing more important with loving each other and giving back. That's it. The rest of all the stuff that we used to aspire to isn't what drives us. It's giving back, connecting, making a difference. And you guys have committed to really doing that. And so I just want to thank you for that, because it's really powerful stuff, and everyone has the capacity to make a big difference.
Just the fact that our lifeguards are de facto immigration agents, that we're having to mass an entire emergency response situation on a Sunday morning because a boat disintegrated, a bunch of people got killed. This is what's happening because of our policies being outrageously outdated, and we collectively have to really demand people do something about it. Increasingly we have at least one party that just isn't interested in discussing immigration issues, which, funnily enough, they used to see this as an economic benefit, right? Having, a sufficient labor pool was good for business. Well, they don't see it that way any longer. And as Serge mentions, when the two parties, there's no agreement or no understanding, nothing's going to get done. Well, every day that doesn't happen, larger encampments in Tijuana, more people dying here, it's not sustainable. We really need change on this issue.
This right here is the Francisco Villa Elementary, and they have two shifts, one from 9 a.m. to 1 and then from 1 to 5, because it's the only way that they can get the demand of children that are in this neighborhood to be able to cover at least 600 of these kids take classes here in a community of 65,000 people. So it's pretty remarkable what they're doing, and we just dropped the computer lab and toys and games for the children to have, and books and supplies. So hopefully that will really help them. They will first of all get internet for the first time ever, and for this community this creates a huge impact.
Y créanme que llegaron a un buen lugar, porque aquí sí los niños sí necesitan todo lo que ustedes trajeron, y pues lo más importante es tengan seguridad que sí se van a usar y va a ser para mejorar esta comunidad y para mejorar la vida de todos los niños de esta escuela.
So I want to thank you very much for what you're doing, and it says that the impact is going to be huge. They're going to do the lab here, which is this is the library. They're going to try to put here a whole computer lab. They made sure they have internet here and in some of the classrooms, and this will, these kids really have those needs, and this will really kind of give them a push forward, push for the future. Part of we said that we're going to be sure that everything is going to be used many years. So we'll follow, we'll see a classroom, and then we'll go ahead to the park. We said that En la mañana?
Igual casi 280 más o menos.
And like 280 in the morning.
So it's like 600 kids.
Yes.
What
age
groups?
Los niños
de primero a sexto.
6 to 12. 6 years to 12. First grade to 6th grade. So it's, we start first grade here around 6, 7 years. That age group. And then do 12, 13. And then aquí hay I'm Faye Crevachet from Wild Coast, and we did this park in order to prove to this community that they can use these materials that really harm them when they are all laying around and they have water stuck inside of them, like the tires, for the good. We can transform them, we can reuse them in a positive way, something that benefits the community. These are the guardians of the park. They care for their children and grandchildren. They take care of the things. So we have, as soon as we inaugurated the park, there were 6 women that volunteered themselves to guard the park, take care of the park, and we call them las guardianas del parque, the guardians of the park and of the children. Because this is very important for the children who've been sitting around, no school.
I think we have enough toys for everybody because we brought like 65 little toys and we have candy. So I think everybody gets one.
Okay, todos fila para agarrar regalos. Órale. This is very important for the children who've been sitting around, no school during the whole pandemic and don't have where to play. We have a present for you that the community did for you to thank you for your good heart and all your help. And these are handmade artisanal things that this woman made of the community. They're not, you cannot buy it any other place because they're not for sale. They just wanted to give it to you guys. We didn't know how many of you would be here. This is this beautiful, look at this. It's the Day of the Dead.
Oh. I will fight y'all for one.
Yeah, me too. We'll take one for big.
This was honestly such a powerful experience, getting to meet all these different people and see the hope that we brought into their lives. Just really the impact we had on the community and the impact that we had on the people was just so amazing. It really not only inspires me, but it encourages me to just do more.
We learned so much from the abuelas and the mothers and the fathers and the guardians of the park and the little kids who had so much life and hope in their eyes.
What you saw is just the beginning. We have so much inspiration and love to bring to the world, and we're just getting started.